So the basis of our series is found in the book of Education, which says, page 179, the 5th paragraph. It says, the present is a time of overwhelming interest to all living. The when? The present. Rulers and statesmen, men who occupy positions of trust and authority, thinking men, and thinking women of all classes. So people are looking at world events and they're thinking and saying, what does this mean? They have their attention fixed upon the events taking place about us. What's going on here we see going on with China? What's going on with Russia? Why do we have this president? Why is he doing these things? People are asking questions. They are watching the strained, restless relations that exist among the nations. You see the tension between US and China, US and Russia, US and Korea. Yes? We're seeing these tensions. What does this mean? People are asking questions. They observe the intensity that is taking possession of every earthly element, and they recognize that something great and decisive is about to take place. The world is on the verge of a stupendous crisis. Yes. People are asking questions. I recently mentioned I was on a flight from Pittsburgh to North Carolina. And a gentleman was there asking questions of me. I gave him the answers as best as I could in the time constraints and the circumstances that we had there. But people are asking questions. And let me say this, let it be recorded. Seventh-day Adventist Christians are the only person in the world who can truly explain now. I'm just being honest, friend. I'm just giving that it is. It's just a factual statement. We're the only person who can explain now. I'm going to show you that it's true this morning. So we learned last week from Review and Herald, November 8, 1881, the prosperity of a nation is dependent upon the virtue and intelligence of its citizens. To secure these blessings, habits of strict temperance are indispensable. So for a country to prosper, the people of the country must show temperance, self-control. Yes. And strict temperance, and that's indispensable. It's a requirement. The history of ancient kingdoms is replete with lessons of warning for us. Listen, friends. So, kingdoms in the past, their experience served to teach us lessons. It goes on. Luxury, self-indulgence, and dissipation prepare the way for their downfall. Yes. It remains to be seen whether our own republic, I'm getting some feedback from the microphone. Hope it's not distorting the recording. It remains to be seen whether our own republic will be admonished by their example and avoid their... No, let's stop there. We're being given an instruction here. We're being given an instruction to go back and look at ancient kingdoms and see how their history progressed, and that will guide us, educate us as it relates to our United States of America. Yes. Friends, we got that? Yes. That's fundamental. We can't go any further unless we get that, because that's the base of the series. The base of this series is to compare kingdoms of the past with this United States of America and see if we're following a certain pattern. And the kingdom we have used so far in our discourse is the Roman Republic. So the United States is a republic, and Rome in one of its early stages was a what? Republic likewise. And last week we did a very deep study in the morning, the afternoon, comparing the Roman Republic with the United States of America Republic. I'm going to do a quick cursory review. We have a little more time this morning, so you can understand the context of our discussion. So, we learned last week, in comparing the rise and fall of the Roman and the USA Republic, that Rome rose as a republic in 509 BC. It had a republican tripartite government, meaning it had an executive branch, legislative branch, and a judicial branch. And we saw that the United States of America rose in 1776 and had a similar tripartite government with the same three branches: judicial branch, legislative branch and executive branch. And both had constitutions that protected the people from the government. US have its constitution, its Bill of Rights. We learned that this republic, the Roman Republic, lasted several hundred years. But a turning point came when there was a war on terror in 68 BC, when the Roman port of Ostia was attacked by so-called terrorists, pirates. And this caused laws to be passed that undermining the underpinning of the republic. The laws were the Lex Gabinia and the Lex Manila, that undermined the constitution. And we saw that similar laws were passed after 9/11, when the authorization to use military force was passed, Act was passed, Patriot Act was passed, and the Military Commissions Act was passed. And these serve likewise to undermine the United States Republic in terms of its constitution. We discussed that in great detail last week. I can't go into that details now. We also learned that there was a fall of the Republic and a rise of the Rome to the Roman Empire. So Rome was a republic, and it fell, and what rose up was the Roman Empire. We saw that in 49 BC, Julius Caesar broke Roman law that forbade the legions, that's the army of Rome, crossing the Rubicon to enter into Rome proper, Italy proper. This commenced the fall of the Roman Republic, and we saw that Julius Caesar became a constitutional dictator, and in 27 BC, the Roman Empire rose with the first emperor, Augustus Caesar. We saw the parallel in the United States of America. We saw in 2002, we saw that there were several changes where the police force became militarized. And this is part and parcel the same, because there is a law that forbids the military from police in the United States. It's called what? Posse Comitatus Act, that was passed in 1878. And we saw here that it forbid the United States of America having the policing its citizens. This should be President, not Trump, but President Bush. This should be Bush, that's a typo. It should be Bush, not Trump. Rise of the US empire with continued succession of imperial presidents. Then the next thing we saw was a church-state union was established with the passage of the Edict of Milan by Emperor Constantine. And the churches were encouraged to be what? Incorporated. We discussed in great detail. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go into the details anymore. And we saw a similar parallel occurring where in 2006, 2009, then Presidents Bush and Obama had several executive power privileges where they established several rules or laws, not really laws, more like what they desired, they made that known. Where they had the Office of Faith-Based Initiatives established, and we saw that President Trump, using executive power, gave life to the image of the beast with apostate Protestantism. We saw now having the power to influence the legislative process. I beg of you, go back and look at the one that we did that says, Are we Rome? Are we Rome? I'm just going very quickly now, I can't go into that detail. But that was the second presentation that says, Are we Rome? There's great details to be found there. Then we saw that the Southern Law was passed in 321 AD by Emperor Constantine, and what followed was what? Persecution of Sabbath-keeping Christians. And we are seeing the present evidence that is an agitation amongst apostate Protestantism for the passage of a national Southern Law. And that will result in persecution of Seventh-day Adventist Christians. Now, we're going to spend our time on this section for today. The collapse and absorption of the empires. We learned last week that the Roman Empire commenced its fall in 476 AD, and that can be found in Revelation 8 and 9. Please, I beg of you, go home and spend some time and study Revelation 8 and 9. It describes the fall of the Western and the Eastern Roman Empire, which is important. I'm going to prove it to you. So the discussion, please friends, really zoom in now. This is what I'm going to say now. Really zoom in, please, I beg of you. Zoom in on this is what I'm going to say now. I'm trying to establish the purpose for this discussion this morning and this evening. Revelation 8 and 9 gives a pattern how this United States of America is going to fall as an empire. I'm going to demonstrate it to you. Alright? So that's going to be our focus this morning. The fall of the United States of America empire. And we're going to see some parallels in Revelation 8 and 9, though I won't go in it very deeply in Revelation 8 and 9. And we're going to be seeing that when the Roman Empire fell, it was absorbed into 10 kingdoms in Daniel chapter 7. The papacy rose to absolute power after the Roman Empire fell. What did I say, friends? The papacy rose to absolute power after the Roman Empire fell. Now, let's look at the other side now, the side that relates to the US. The fall of the US Empire and the absorption of the US Empire as part of the North American Union and one of the 10 kingdoms of the New World Order, the political beast and the papacy, religious war, rising to world dominance. So, this morning's discussion, we're going to be spending our time looking at the fall of the American Empire. This evening, we're going to ask ourselves the question, what will the world look like after the US Empire has fallen? Friends, you understand what we're going to be doing?
Yes.
We're going to be discussing the fall of the US Empire this morning. And this afternoon, 6 o'clock, we're going to be discussing what will the world look like after the US Empire falls. So let's get into it right now. So, one very astute and informed journalist wrote, Steve Long, The Fall of the American Empire. He said, world empires have come and gone. It is the nature of empires, and he's making mention of the Roman Empire. So he says the nature of empires to what? Come and go. So, please, I want the children to really settle down or go to the back. It might be easier. I'm going to really challenge you this morning. So it's going to be a difficult study. So please, I'm begging us to really focus. It's going to be a truly difficult study this morning. But this is probably going to be one of the most relevant study because we're going to be discussing what's happening right now in this United States of America. So I really want us to really clean. And the children at the front, they're really being very distracted. Please, I'm begging you guys, go to the back. Go, both of you go. I'm really trying to be patient with you guys, but you guys are doing everything. You're talking, you're looking, you're doing all that stuff. Go to the back, please. You have to go, follow, please, go. And please, don't sit beside your sister, go sit somewhere else, please. I don't want you guys distracted. I really want everybody to be focused this morning. Let's get back to it. Alright, so I said, let's get to it. So here's what is being said. World empires come and go, and so it was for the Roman Empire. And bear in mind, we are comparing the Roman Empire with which empire? The American Empire. Are you following me?
Yes.
So what we see with the Roman Empire, we expect to see that with which empire? The American Empire. Very good. Now, here it is. So here's the Roman Empire to speak. There's a principle I want us to appreciate here. Follow the principle carefully now. Here is Italy, and here is Rome. Agreed? Are you seeing that?
Yes.
But the Roman Empire extended way beyond the confines of Italy and Rome. Who's seen that?
Yes.
Everybody see that point?
Yes.
So let's go again. Rome is here, but the Roman Empire extended in all that region that's in pink. You got that, friends?
Yes. Yes.
All right, very good. Then the Roman Empire, it lasted for over 400 years, but it gained too much territory for itself to handle, and it eventually fell. Now, how did the Roman Empire fall? Listen carefully. Why did Rome fall, and is the US the next Roman Empire? So let us see. Why did Rome fall? There was decay. There was moral decay amongst the Roman people. The men became effeminate. That's a fact. You can go and check the history books. There was religious controversy. There was this interplay between Christianity and Christianity to be corrupted. There was financial problems. Church, I want you to listen carefully.
Yes.
I'm going to prove these points this morning, so I want you guys to listen carefully. There was dole. It became a welfare state. And they were the barbarians that were going to spend some time who moved in from the east and attacked Rome. Where did I say they moved in from? Where?
East.
What did I say?
East.
So the barbarians moved in from the
East.
There was also economic and military spending. So we're going to spend some time on this morning and focus on these three. The role of the financial issues that they're having, the role of the barbarians, and their economic spending and their military. So I won't be able to touch all 8 this morning, but I'm going to touch on those 3 aspects of why the Roman Empire fell. The role of the financial problems, the barbarians that moved in from the
East,
and the economic and military spending. Declining moral and values, political corruption, public health and urban decay, and eroding infrastructure. So those were 8 essential reasons why the Roman Empire fell. And the question is the US the next Roman Empire? So, as it relates to the barbarians, this author said from the 8 reasons why Rome fell said, the arrival of the Huns and the migration of the barbarian tribes from the
East.
The barbarian attacks on Rome partially stemmed from a mass migration caused by the Huns' invasion of Europe in the late 4th century. So the Huns were located around the region of China, that area just above China, northern China, not north of China. There were the Huns and the Huns. Alright? When these Eurasian warriors rampaged through northern Europe, they drove many Germanic tribes to the borders of the Roman Empire. So listen carefully. When the Huns and the barbarians came and attacked from the east, it caused a ripple effect, and other nations were dispersed, and they in turn attacked Rome. Are you following me so far?
Yes.
All right, very good. So here we describe it. So Revelation 8, please go home and read this chapter. The Western Roman Empire, how it fell. It fell from the attack coming from the Huns, the Ostrogoths, the Vandals coming from the east. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Here's Rome. They came from the east. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
The Eastern Roman Empire, its fall was 1,000 years later, just about. That's Revelation chapter 9. Now, we won't have time to study both Revelation 8 and 9 today. But it's a point I want us to appreciate here. That the Roman Empire fell. One of the contributing factors was the barbarians attacking from the
East.
Alright, so you see the Huns, the Ostrogoths, the Vandals, alright, and they attacked Rome. Roman Empire fell. So when the Roman Empire fell, there was a new geopolitical structure. What did I say, a new what? Geopolitical structure, meaning the politics changed, and what came up was what? 10 separate kingdoms. Roman Empire absorbed into the 10 kingdoms of Daniel 7:7. Are you following me so far?
Yes.
So the barbarians war with Roman Empire. Roman Empire fell, and that territory changed and became now one of what? 10 kingdoms. The Anglo-Saxons, the Franks, the Alemanni, the Lombards, the Ostrogoths, the Heruli, the Burgundians, the Suevi, the Visigoths, and the Vandals. But bear something, Rome was still there. But the Rome as itself, as an empire, was now what? Absorbed in these 10 nations. Are you clear on that?
Yes.
So when the Roman Empire fell, was there still a Rome?
Yes.
Yes. But was it what? It was what? No what? Absorbed in these now what? 10 nations. Are you following me so far?
Yes.
Very good. So this is what we're saying. This is the Roman Empire. This is the region of the Roman Empire after it fell, where it now fell and was absorbed into 10 kingdoms.
Yeah.
Now, this author Steve Long says, I know that America has never been traditionally described as an empire, but by the very definition of the word, it most certainly is. So he's going to convince us now that the United States of America is an empire.
Yes.
Very sharp man. I like what this guy writes. This is what he says. This is what he says. An empire is defined as a group of nations or people ruled by an emperor, empress, or other powerful sovereign or government.
Yes.
An empire is established either by force,
Yes.
so that's one way to establish empire, by force, by direct conquest, that is, or by what is referred to as indirect conquest, wherein the powers that be tend to exert less direct control, but uses its military forces and politicians to what? Further expand its way of life onto sovereign nations.
Oh, yeah.
It is the latter type that includes the United States on the list of world empires.
Yes.
So he's saying this one. America is not an empire because it necessarily what? Conquers other country. But it uses what? Indirect means. It's what? Military and its politics to what? Expand its way of life on other sovereign nations.
Yes.
And in this way, the United States is an empire.
Yes.
We understand that, friends?
Yes.
So empire can be described in different ways.
Yes. Yes.
And if you really understand early Rome, how Rome conquered many of those nations, they didn't even fight many of those nations. They used the political sway of Rome to win over those nations. So America is an empire, but the empire in a sense through its military force, politicians that have the sway over these sovereign nations, and the United States on the list of world empires. So the US is a world empire. Now let me prove it to you further now. Now every world empire clearly going to have some military backing to it. But let's look at the US military backing. This is from the Department of Defense. I took their exact words. It says combatant commands. The Defense Department has 10 combatant commands, each with a geographic and functional mission that provides command and control of military forces in peace and war. What are we seeing? This is what we're seeing. This is the world. The United States of America Department of Defense have divided the world in several regions, and they have specific command in each region to control, for peace and war control of the world. So you have the United States Pacific Command, United States Northern Command, United States Southern Command, United States Eastern European Command, United States Pacific Command that extends from this side, United States Central Command, and United States Africa Command. So this system of military deployment and responsibility is supported by military troops and bases around the world. So, what I'm showing here in red, bright red, it says 63 countries with US military bases and troops. There are at least 63 countries in the world that has US military bases and troops. Alright? And this Department of Defense says, United States military is currently deployed to more locations than has been throughout history. So all these areas that are colored either have US military bases or US military troops to support this system. Are you following me, friends?
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
So the US is an empire.
Yes.
Let's just accept that.
It is.
It's a worldwide empire.
Yes. In disguise. Yes.
Now let's go into some more detail now. United States has become a military empire. Are we agreed on that?
Yes.
We call ourselves a constitutional republic, but that does not hide the fact that we control various sovereign nations via military installations that aren't necessary and for the most part unwanted by the local people.
Right.
What's the weakness of this US empire? The cost of outfitting and maintaining these foreign bases is staggering.
Yes.
We have over 250,000 men dispersed throughout the world.
Yes.
Over 63 military bases and troops in different parts of the world. The cost to maintain this is staggering. I want us to reflect on what we discussed how the Roman Empire fell. There's an issue with your what? Financial what? Issues in terms that they're spending for their what? Military. Remember we discussed that? So I'm going to show you guys the parallel now. So we get into the parallels now. But the worst part about it is that the Pentagon itself doesn't even realize how much it costs to maintain all these bases. The Department of Defense has repeatedly been asked by Congress to audit its outside contractors so that the trail of where the money is going can be followed. To date, this has not been done.
Wow.
So each year in the United States of America budget, which part of the budget gets the most money? The military. Why? You need money to establish and maintain a what? Empire based on military power. Are you following me so far?
Yes.
Alright, very good. Now, this is an important slide. It's going to set the stage for our discussion going forward. The American empire problem is our financial problem. It is an international relations problem. I want to listen very carefully.
Yes.
The American problem is not the fact that it has military power. The American problem is that is how much it pays to maintain its what? Military. So it is a financial problem. So let me ask a question. If the US empire is going to fall, is it going to fall because the Russians are going to invade the United States of America?
No.
What about the Chinese crossing and coming over and invading the United States of America? Can't be. So it's going to fall because of what?
Money.
Because that's where the problem is, a financial problem. That's the soft underbelly of the United States of America empire. Is a financial problem. So therefore, this is what we're going to do. We'll look at world finances viewed in the light of prophecy and history. I'm going to be discussing things happening right now today. And you're going to leave here by God's grace and have a better understanding of what's really going on in this world. And some stuff I'm going to present you, you're going to be shaking for you. You're going to scare some of you. But don't be afraid. The Lord is in control just to see.
Amen.
It's going to be that deep and intense right now. Alright? But let's just go through it together. So our scripture reading was in Isaiah 23 verse 1 to 8. So we're going to go to Isaiah 23 1 to 8. I'm going to explain it so you understand from the prophetic view who the Bible says control the world finances. Because sometimes we get confused. Because we look with eyes, physical eyes. The Bible wants to look with prophetic eyes. So from a prophetic eye, who control world finances? Let's hear what the Bible has to say. So the burden of Tyre. So Tyre is being used here synonymous with Babylon or the papacy. Are you following me? We're going to interpret it now. So every time you see Tyre here, the description here is about the papacy. And it's going to be quite evident soon. So it's describing here when the papacy is going to fall, but that's not the point I want to get here. I want you to get the point what it's saying about the papacy while it's alive. Are you following me?
Yeah.
This is what it says. All ye ships of Tarshish. In the Bible, what do ships represent? Commerce. Commerce, right? That's some of you guys nodding. So far we know the papacy, I discussed the papacy as a place for what? Commerce. Listen carefully now. For it is laid waste, so that there is no house, no entering in from the land of Shittim, it is revealed to them. Listen friends. Be still ye inhabitants of the isles, though whom the merchants of Zidon that pass over the sea have replenished. So Tyre or the papacy is being described in that regard, is involved in world what? Commerce and world trade. And the merchants of the world trade through who? The papacy. That's what it's saying. You guys might be doubtful, but I'm going to prove it is all I'm saying is true. And by great waters, the seed of Seir, the harvest of the river is her revenue. River means what? People, nation, and tongue. So the revenue of the world goes to where? Is her revenue. Goes to where? The papacy. The Bible is saying that. She's a mart of nations. What do you with a mart? What's a mart? We have supermarket, we have mart, Walmart. It's a place to go and what? Ah! There you go. It's a place where you do commerce. So it's describing Tyre as a place for commerce in the world. It goes on. Be thou ashamed of Zion, for the sea has spoken, even the strength of the sea, saying, I travail not, nor bring forth children. Neither do I nourish up young men, nor bring up virgins. As at the report concerning Egypt, so shall they soberly pain at the report of Tyre. So this is when Tyre fall. Pass ye over to Tarshish, holy inhabitants of the isle. Is this your joyous city whose antiquity is of ancient days? So he's describing Tyre as a city of what? Antiquity, ancient days. That's the papacy. Her own feet shall carry her afar off the sojourn. Now I want everybody to stay awake now. Because here's an important slide. Who had taken counsel against Tyre, the crowning city, whose merchants are princes, and whose traffickers are they?
Honorable of the earth.
So it is saying here, the papacy, the merchants are princes and the traffickers are the honored of the earth. Now what does that mean? Let's look at it. Here the prophet Isaiah, using Tyre, synonymous with the papacy, asks a rhetorical question. The answer is clear. The merchants are the bankers,
Yes.
are the princes, head of corporations,
Yes.
and the traffickers, those who trade in stocks and control currencies, are the honorable positions of authority of the earth, all controlled by the papacy. Let me cure us of our confusion right now. This world, financial, is controlled by the papacy.
Yes. Yes.
The Bible says that, and I believe it.
Yes.
I'm going to show it to you. So here is where we become confused sometimes. We look at world finances and we look with our eyes like this. And the Bible is saying, go to Isaiah 23 verse 1 to 8 and put on the lens of prophecy, and then it becomes clearer to you. Mercy. So the lens of prophecy is saying, if you want to understand world finances and know where things are going, look at the papacy.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what we're going to do this morning. We're not going to do it blind eye like that. No. We're going to put on the lens of what? Prophecy. So let's go at it now. So this lady is a very interesting lady. She's Christine. So this is what we're following upon. Don't want to miss the point now. The merchants and the bankers and the traffickers, those who control world trade, are what? Princes and princesses of the what? The papacy. Are you hearing that so far?
Yes.
So let's explore one potential candidate of being one of these princesses or traffickers. Let's explore this lady here. Her name is Christine L.I.G.H.T. She's a managing director and the chairperson or the chairman of the International Monetary Fund since 2011. So this is a powerful financial entity that controls the movements of money, lending of money, and regulation of money. Is that so?
Yes.
Let's explore this lady some more. Note now, the Bible says she and the people of her type are the ones who control the money, and they are of the papacy. That's what the Bible says, right?
Yes.
Here is this lady here. A very interesting brochure on her shoulder. What is that brochure? See the brochure here again? Baphomet. Who is Baphomet? Who is Baphomet? Baphomet is Satan in essence, really, the devil. Alright? So the occultic world see Baphomet the devil as their God. So this lady is wearing a occultic symbol on her dress. But let's go even further. She's wearing a 666 right there. Right there. So these princes and traffickers of the papacy are occultists.
Yes. Yes.
There she is again. Christine L.I.G.H.T, the IMF director, but she's beside a very interesting lady, Philippine de Rothschild. And Philippine de Rothschild is wearing a very interesting brooch of Baphomet. So Christine L.I.G.H.T, the managing director of Rothschild Control and International Monetary Fund, wine tasting with Baroness Philippine de Rothschild. Let's go some more. Here it is. Let me blow it up big and you see that? See that Baphomet signal sign right there? On there?
Yeah.
That's it. So it's a saying, show me your friends, can I give an idea of who your character is, yes?
Yeah.
So Baroness Philippine Matilde Camille de Rothschild wearing satanic neck pieces. See another one here? So it's not by chance.
Yes.
She seemed to like to wear this, right? So here she was wearing this style, here she wearing a different style. See there? With upside down cross.
Yes.
And they are close friends clearly.
Yes, of course.
So don't be confused, friends. Don't be confused. Papacy controls world finances.
Right. Yes, true.
So don't get confused what's going on in the United States of America, or China, or Japan.
I know it.
Someone is behind the scene directing the action for an outcome.
Yes, absolutely.
Because the Bible tells me that what? The traffickers and the merchants are princes and princesses of the what? Tyre. Tyre means the papacy.
Yes.
Bible tells me that. Not my eyes. My eyes were going to confuse me. But the lens of prophecy confirmed that to me. Now, world finance is based on fiat money. What is fiat money? Well, fiat money derives its status as money from the power of the state. It is money because the government says so. So go in your pocket and take out a $10 bill or a $5 bill. It's literally worthless, really.
Fiat money.
It only has meaning because the government says to us and we can agree with them.
Yes.
But that's really it. It's really money. There's nothing backing it. That's what fiat money means. So printed money is fiat money, nothing is backing it. Fiat money is declared legal tender by the government. Person has made a valid and legal offer of payment when payment is made with this money. So it's an agreement. But there's nothing inherently backing the money. No. You ever heard about the petrodollar? Petrodollar is a United States dollar earned by a country through the sale of petroleum. So, Saudi Arabia sells some oil. They get paid in US dollar. It's called petrodollar. The entire world system presently right now is run on the basis of petrodollar. How so? Because the United States dollar is the world currency presently. But that's changing. We're going to see that soon enough. So if you're going to buy oil, you cannot buy oil in what? US dollars. That's changing likewise, and we're going to show you that. So the United States have its power and military might because its dollar is backed by what? Oil. Praise the God, huh? The only reason why your money, the money that we spend in this country have any meaning is because the world buys oil in what? US dollar. So, this is a beautiful slide. So this is a US money right here. And it's been nourished by what? I'm going to leave you something to think about. We're going to get to it soon enough, but I want to think about something. If the US dollar finds nourishment from oil, what would happen if they stop trading oil in US dollars? We're going to get to that soon. Just keep in your mind from now. So here it is, friends. Cycling and recycling of the petrodollars. So OPEC countries deposit their surplus money from oil sales in foreign banks. The banks loan the money to governments in need of financing their balance of payment deficits. And these countries use the borrowed money to buy more oil and other imports, keeping the economy floating. You see that, friends?
Yes, sir.
So it's a system.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's why the US is so fiercely defending oil. That's why they secure so much about the Middle East.
Yes. The oil.
Because the oil is what backs the money.
Yes.
The money has no inherent value, friends. Money only has value when it's backed by something. And the US dollar is backed by petrodollars. So the petrodollar and the US dollar, the petrodollar backs the US dollar. Petrodollar means that whenever the Arabs sell their oil and they get that money, they put that money back in the system and the system revolves. Now, what the intelligence committee fears is that the Federal Reserve Board dollar index showing this. The petrodollar is being decimated. So the petrodollar is losing its influence. Now, bear in mind, we're discussing this in the context of the fall of the US empire. And we saw that in the Roman Empire when it fell, a part of the problem was what? The issue of what? Finances. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you some homework. Go and check what happened to the Roman denarii, Roman money. As its empire was going down, they put less and less silver in the coin. There was a system of hyperinflation. It was losing its what? Value. So we are seeing the US dollar is losing its what? Value likewise. So the parallels are perfect. Now, here it becomes interesting now. So I want to explain, you want to understand what's going on in the world right now. We want to discuss the barbarian financial invasion from the East, Chinese influence. Remember we discussed before that when Roman Empire fell, there was invasion from the what?
The
East. By the way, the Huns and the barbarians. Remember we discussed that?
Yes.
And that caused a weakening of the Roman Empire. We're seeing the same exact things now. So what are we seeing? China's launch of petro-yuan in 2 months sounds death knell of dollar's dominance. So the war that we're experiencing now is a financial war.
Yes.
We learned earlier that the soft underbelly of the US empire is a financial issue. Remember we discussed that?
Yes.
Remember we discussed that, friends? Yes. So the war that's going to take down the United States of America won't be a military war. It's going to be a financial war. And this financial war is coming from the east. Just as our Roman Empire fell by a physical war coming from the where? East. This time the US is empire going to fall from a war coming from the where? East. But going to be a what? Financial war, because that's US weakness. So we see competition is coming here from the Chinese, and they are now trading oil in the yuan. Yeah. So let's stop and think about that. If the US economy is backed by the petrodollar, and we now have a petro yuan, we have a problem.
Yes.
We have a problem. Because the dollar is going to lose what? Its value. It says here, one of the world's top energy importers, China, is set to roll out a yuan-denominated oil contract as early as this year. That was 2017. They are full on the way with that already. Analysts call the plan, announced by Beijing in September, a huge move against the dollar's global dominance. The so-called petro yuan is a wake-up call for investors who haven't paid attention to Chinese plans, according to the head of the Gratitude Asset Management Asia, Adam Levinson, as quoted by Bloomberg. So they're saying, not only is oil being traded in US dollar, petrodollar, but no, the what? Petro yuan. There is indeed a financial war coming from the east. The Chinese yuan becomes official currency in Zimbabwe. You know that?
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
So here this conference. This is another milestone set by Beijing to be in the court of the great powers, those whose currency refers. As of January 1st, 2016, the yuan or renminbi rub shoulders with the US dollar, South Africa and Iran, and Botswana pula in the pockets of people of Zimbabwe. So in Zimbabwe, you can buy either the US dollar, South African rand, or the Botswana pula. But what has joined it now? The Chinese yuan. So do you see that there is indeed a financial war going on in the world right now?
Yes.
So who do you think in charge of this financial war? Yes, I learned that the merchants and the traffickers are what? Her princes.
Yes.
And our honorable men and women. We learned that. Now, so we see these two men from the east are exhibiting great pressures coming from the east towards the US. Great pressure. Here they were signing an agreement where China agrees to buy advanced military weapons from Russia. And this is being burden on the US empire. The push is coming from the east. Just as our Revelation 8 told us it was going to be, when we saw the Huns and the barbarians attack Roman Empire from the what? From the east. So, Chinese Belt and Road Infrastructure Plan also includes science. So here it is, friends. Here is China. And it plans to build all these roads extending from the west to the east. And with that, they plan to have great economic belt and much commerce, extending in their competition with the United States of America. Now, did Trump start a trade war America will lose? I want to think about that one. Because the prophecy says yes. The prophet says the physical war between those invading Huns and barbarians caused the Roman Empire to fall. So I wonder why Trump is pushing so hard. Is it that he intends to bring about the fall of this country? I told you guys I'm going to check your mind very deeply, and it started to happen. Now I see you guys looking at your face right now. But let's read and hear what's going on, what is being said here. China warned the United States on Thursday that everyone will be harmed if President Donald Trump launches a trade war. So, are you saying that this trade war that we're seeing, that the Chinese are going to be harmed and the Russians are going to be harmed, but the US is going to be harmed? So there may not be any winner amongst them. So who's going to be the winner then? Come back this afternoon, I'm going to prove that to you. Yeah, the papers are going to be the winner. The papers are going to be the winner. Let me prove it to you. Let me give you a quick oversight. Remember this. when the Roman Empire fell, and Roman Empire was absorbing these 10 kingdoms, who rose up amongst them? Little horn. Little horn, Daniel chapter 7, verse 7 and 8. Are you following me, friends?
Yes.
So when the Roman Empire fell and was replaced by these 10 kingdoms, what rose up? What rose up? The papacy.
Yes.
Are you going to see the repeat of that? Come back this evening and you're going to see that.
Yes.
But the Chinese are saying that everybody's going to be harmed if this trade war continues.
Yeah.
Now, let's go more deeper now. So it says, choosing a trade war is truly the wrong prescription. In the end, you will only hurt others and yourself. So they are aware that this trade war is not going to benefit anybody. So why is he pushing for it so hard? No. Then it became time to establish a paperless world currency. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why is a paperless world currency needful to the PayPal merchants and traffickers? Don't answer it yet. So a time came, I'm going to show you the time, when it was needful to have a paperless world currency. And I'm asking the question. Because we learned that who controls the world currency? The merchants and traffickers who are what? Of Tyre, the papacy. We learned that. Isaiah 23 verse 8 spoke of that. So if there's a push towards a world currency, who is pushing that behind the scene? The papacy. But why do they want a paperless currency? Let's explore some stuff. This, about 10 years ago, I spent time hours studying this chart here. It's a fascinating chart. Just this picture right here. This picture is an entire volume book to understand what we're really saying. Let me take it through it. It's the front page of The Economist. Economist is one of the most reputable financial magazines in the world. You guys recognize that name, right?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, follow me carefully now. So it says here, January 9th, 1988. That's how many years ago? 31 years ago, right? So 31 years ago, the powers that be, the men and women of Tyre, the traffickers and the merchants says, get ready for a world currency. But they didn't stop there. They told you how the world currency is going to come about. What you see here is dollars, different country dollars, going up in what? Flames, and uprising at what? Phoenix. It says 10 Phoenix, and it gives you a date of what? 2018.
Wow.
So in 1988, they are saying in 30 years' time we shall have things ready for our world currency. No, the question is, are they there? We're going to look at that right now. But you understand what it's saying right here, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So in 30 years, they were planning that we're going to have a world currency. And the process of doing that, paper money going to be what? Irrelevant. And up is going to rise some type of token-based monetary system. That's a token. Not a coin, but a token. And the time for that token to rise, as the phoenix rise from the ashes of the burnt, destroyed paper-based system, is 2018. So then you had the financial crisis 20 years later. Very interesting occurrence. Financial crisis. What was this about? Well, the financial crisis of 2007-2008, also known as the global financial crisis, and the 2008 financial crisis is considered by many economists to have been the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression of the 1930s.
It's true.
Now, it began in 2007 with a crisis in the subprime mortgage market in the US and developed into a full-blown international banking crisis with the collapse of the investment bank Lehman Brothers on September 15, 2008. So what's been this collapse? So people were buying houses upon houses using what? Variable rate interest rates, right? Yes. So you may start with an interest rate of 3.4%, but then it goes up to 6, then it goes to 10, and then boom, you can't pay the mortgage, it collapses. The bank says, I want my money, you lose your house, and you lose a string of them. I know a friend, she lost about 6 houses just one behind her. Boom, 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 boom. No. We learned before that who controls these monetary systems? The papacy, the princes of Tyre, Isaiah 23 verses 8. So they clearly knew what they were doing when they were lending people this money.
Oh, yes.
So this is what they did. The Wall Street Journal, crisis on Wall Street as Lehman Brothers totters. This very astute man, Lawrence Ball, made a very interesting comment. Could the Fed have saved Lehman Brothers? And he argues in this presentation that he gave that yes, they could have. So why did they not save Lehman Brothers?
They didn't want to.
Because it was a principle of the Hegelian dialectic. Let me show you what basically occurred. So there was a thesis and the antithesis. The Federal Reserve allows the collapse of Lehman Brothers, which started a world financial crisis, and it led to the creation of a new global currency.
Yes.
So here, listen carefully now. In response, so I'm reading from Ambrose Evans' picture, the G20 moves world step closer onto a global currency. This was in 2009. So this reporter now is reporting on the activities when the G20 met in 2009, the year after the world financial crisis. Are you following me, friends?
Yes.
So Lehman Brothers were allowed to collapse because of this subprime mortgage system, which they could have stepped in if they wanted to. They allowed it to collapse. Follow me carefully. And the next year in 2009, the G20 met. And this report has reported on the results of the G20 meeting. In response to the world financial crisis. In response to what?
The world
financial crisis. Following the 2009 G20 summit, plans were announced for the creation of a new world global currency to replace the US dollar as the world reserve currency.
Yes.
So they allow Lehman Brothers to fall, to create a crisis, to raise up a global currency. So here it is, on the same article I'm reading from. SDRs are special drawing rights, are a synthetic paper currency. Paper currency.
Yes.
So the SDR started as a what? A paper currency. Let me you guys say that. The SDR started as a paper currency. But the question I ask you is, why the powers that be wants a paperless currency? So it started as a paper currency first. A global currency, but a paper currency. So it says, SDRs are special drawing rights are synthetic paper currency issued by the International Monetary Fund. Same system that who controls? L.I.G.H.T, right? We discussed that, right? Remember we discussed that lady?
Yeah.
With all these occultic symbols?
Yeah.
Alright. The article further stated, there is now a world currency in waiting. In time, SDRs are likely to evolve into a parking place for the foreign holdings of central banks. And that time came quickly afterwards. SDR is officially backed by a selected group of world paper fiat currencies. So what? So the SDRs are backed by the US dollar, the euro, the Chinese, the English pound, the Japanese yen, and the Chinese yuan. So then this brings on the issue of digital currency. That started to take sway. Follow me carefully, friends. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that enables direct payment over the internet. So Bitcoins are actually true paperless way to what? To spend and buy. Bitcoin is a dollar bill with a teleporter built in. Created by computers solving difficult problems, traded for real money by money exchangers, minimal fees in payment transactions. So we start to see the SDR rising as a paper-based currency, but we see now that the Bitcoin and the digitalized system rising as a what? Digital system of currency. Now, listen friends, the IMF tasked the People's Bank of China to develop a financial product that linked digital currency with the SDR. So they want to try and link now digital currency with its special drawing rights. So they say, create a product, create a system where SDR can be now become what? Digitalized. It starts as a paper-based SDR, we don't know what. Digitalized SDR. Now what I'm discussing is so intense, I see some of you guys looking a little bit glassy-eyed. That's the reason why I'm recording it, so you can go back and look it over, and take out your stuff, and check if what I'm saying is true or not. That's the purpose why I'm doing it. I know this is knocking some of you guys very hard, but it's alright. That's understandable. So I'm going to play a video now to show you what the Chinese came up with to bridge the gap between digital currency with the SDR. Alright, so friends, it's showing a man running, and it's showing all currencies going with the man. You seen that? Gold coins. Are you seeing that? Alright, very old system of currency. Alright, gold again. That was the system of currency. And then the man is running faster now, but in a Masonic triangle. And all these paper-based money is popping up. And the US dollar comes into view and hand does what? Swipe it away. And what's the result? The new world of digitalization has been built. Every commodity has become what? Digitalized. So look at that. Oil. That's not oil in terms of crude oil, but all rice, flour, computers, everything has become digitalized. And all the nations of the world what? Buying into it. You see the world we come into view right here now? Houses, everything on this sold through the ACC chain. That's the world to come, friends. And that world is where? Is here right now. So when China established, so those, see the token I'm talking about, so remember the eagle that here on his neck? That was a what? Token. That's the tokens that was around the eagle's neck. And that was portrayed from when? 1988. So, my brother, I want you to play it one more time. I won't give any commentary. I just want us to just look at it and understand it for ourselves. So let play one more time, my brother. Alright, I won't give any commentary now. You look at it and you see what they are depicting. These are all the world commodities. US, China, Russia, everybody buying into the system. It becomes global now. It's run on the entire globe. See, food and food products. Houses, cars, everything will be purchased that way. The tool of digitalization is opening a new world. Those are the tokens that was around the eagle's neck. 30 years ago they made plans for this. As I said before, the first commodity sold through the system was tea in China. We are there. We are there. May God bless and keep us. It shows initially a man running. Initially he's running, and this is the second video clip it shows. First video clip it shows is that a man is running, and beside him is all these gold coins and all these old system of currency. Then it shows the man change and running, and it shows the man running, and you start to see all the dollars coming up. Follow me carefully now. Then it shows more dollars coming up, and it says that God uses it to benefit of mankind. No, it says blockchain. The devil uses it to destroy the world. No, in the occultic mindset, and how you know this is occultic? Because this man is running a Masonic triangle.
Yes.
So this is what they are saying.
Yes.
The devil uses it to destroy the world. Now, in the occultic mindset, the devil is Jesus and Jesus is the devil.
Yep.
So let's flip it around what they're really saying. What they're really saying is what? Jesus used it to destroy the world. That's what they're saying. But in the next slide here, what they're saying, the God uses it to benefit of mankind. So who's the God here?
The devil.
Ah! So that's what they're saying. So they say, the Chinese say we have a new product to link the SDR, that is paper, to make it digitalized with a digitalized currency. And as the man is running, you see more and more of these dollars coming up. And then you see coming to view the US dollar. And then a hand comes and swipe the US dollars away. And what it shows afterwards is a digitalized system, and every single commodity, the number of nodes is limited. Remember that thing was around the eagle's neck?
Yes.
Yes, one of those nodes? The number of nodes is limited, but the resources is unlimited. So every single product in the world is going to become digitalized. Careful here, mommy. Careful there. So every single product in the world is going to become digitalized. I'm really sorry I can't play to show you. It's really, really interesting to see. Now I'm getting some of you guys' attention. So let me get the rest of you guys' attention. Brothers and sisters, what they planned in 1988 is here with us in 2019. They have created a truly digitalized currency. The SDR has become fully digitalized. Every single commodity in the world will have a digital tag attached to it. And to buy and sell, you will have to be a part of this digitalized system. Now, I'm really sorry I really can't play this. I'm really, really devastated because it's not playing. I'm not sure why. It played the last time and not playing this time. So, here's the question I'm asking. When will the American empire financial fall be completed? Because we see it started already. But when is it going to be completed? When is the United States financial system going to fall and the United States empire going to fall and fall? Last day events 133 fifth paragraph says, when our nation in its legislative councils shall enact laws enforcing Sunday observance and bringing oppressive power to bear against those who keep the 7-day Sabbath, the law of God will to all intents and purposes be made what? Void in our land, and national apostasy will be followed by national ruin. So friends, everything is set. When the Sunday law is passed, they are going to effect the plan. This country is going to collapse financially.
Absolutely.
I'm not doubtful about that. I'm 100% sure because the Bible tells me that.
Yes.
No, let's go into some more detail. It says, Revelation 13:16 says what? And he calls it all, both small and great, rich, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads. What's that mark about? Is it what? Sunday law. So mark in the hand and in the forehead. Hand meaning that people are going to have their what? Desires to what? Feed their families. Yes?
Yeah.
Pay their bills. So they're going to be a part of the system. And in the foreign now, people are going to be willingly joining to this system.
Yes.
No. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Revelation 13:17.
Yes.
Money will soon depreciate in value very suddenly when the reality of eternal scenes, this is used in the context of the son-in-law, open to the senses of men. The true missionary January 1874. But let me ask a question. Many of us here understand some finance. What is typically going on with money depreciating in value? What do you call that? Hyperinflation. So I'm sure you have seen that picture before, that when the Weimar Republic was collapsed in Germany, people were pushing wheelbarrows to buy a loaf of bread. Yes. Wheelbarrows of money. Stop at the bakery, leave the wheelbarrow there with the money, all hide this on it. When he came out, the money's on the ground, the wheelbarrow is gone. Because he can trade the wheelbarrow. But the money's of what? No use. That's why you call it depreciating rapidly. That's why you call it hyperinflation. No. Hoarded wealth will soon be worthless. Friends, you got that?
Yes.
Hoarded wealth will soon be worthless. When the decree shall go forth that none shall buy or sell except they have the mark of the beast, very much means will be of no value, no avail. God calls us now to do all in our power to what? Send forth the warning to the world.
Amen.
So how is it this hyperinflation going to set in to cause the entire US economy to collapse? How is it going to be done? Let's reason this through. We learned before that what is holding up the US financial empire right now? Oil. Right? Because they have petrodollars. And throughout much of the world, oil is sold only in US currency, much of the world. But we see that Chinese are giving them some competition with the petrol yarn. So follow me now. Oil is globally traded, so it could be what? Priced in any currency. So when oil is priced in special drawing rights, then they're going to be collapse of the petrodollar and collapse of the US dollar. Friends, you got that?
Yes.
Let's make sure we understand that point. Oil presently is sold in most places and bought based on US dollars. So that's why the US have so much power in the world right now.
Right.
Follow me carefully.
Yes.
The IMF gave the Chinese a responsibility. I want you guys to go and create a system called the ACC chain. The asset chain, same thing I was trying to play. Remember I was trying to play that, but it's just not playing.
Yeah.
And I showed you guys the man running through the triangle. That links the SDR to digital currency. So when oil is being sold using the SDR, there will be no need for the American dollar, nor the Chinese yuan. So the Chinese are right. If this trade war continues, that's going to benefit anybody. Because we're going to both be disenfranchised.
Yes.
It's going to create so much world instability. People are going to say, we want a new currency.
Yes.
And yes, they're going to get a new currency, a digitalized currency. So the US dollar will have no money, the Chinese yuan will have no money.
All right.
So follow now, friends. The US dollar collapses. Then we see something interesting occur. Thesis and antithesis. Price oil in SDRs, it causes hyperinflation of the fiat paper currency. So if oil is priced in SDR, digitalized SDR, does the US dollar have any value? No, totally valueless. Totally, absolutely valueless. But that has another effect. Paper currency depreciates rapidly and becomes valueless. And what's going to be the result? Digitalized financial system that is reliant on SDRs. So, oil price in SDRs cause hyperinflation of paper currency. Paper currency depreciating in value, and it set the stage for a digitalized system that is reliant on SDRs. And then we have a digitalized SDR, we have a world currency that is truly digitalized, not paper-based. Then, friends, then the plan that they had crafted in 1988 would have been taken full effect.
Yes.
Then this that they had would now become this system. Where what? International Universal Digital Currency, SDR. So we're there, friend. We just need that precipitation to tip it over.
Yes.
Now, I'd asked this question earlier. Why is a paperless world currency needful to the people, merchants, and traffickers? To enforce the mark of the beast.
Yes.
That's the only way it can be enforced. They need a paperless, digitalized currency. How so? Well, that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this requires a what? Cashless society. So let's go into some more detail. Now, he says that no man may buy or sell save he that. So it shows here three systems. Follow carefully now, friends. Friends, I know this is really, some of us really struggling with this, but that's fine. I appreciate the struggle. So it showed three hierarchy of those who would be able to buy or sell. A threefold hierarchy. This is what it says. Now, no man might buy or sell save he at the what? The mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So, all persons who transgress God's law will receive the mark of the beast, but there will be a hierarchy among those who have been granted the privilege to buy or sell. Those with the mark, that's secular society, the name of the beast, apostate Protestantism, and the number of his name, the papal system. This incorporates the entire world of persons. If you're a part of the system, you're going to fall in one of those three categories. Then you'll have access to what? Be able to what? Buy or sell. No. It is important to recognize the distinction between the mark of the beast, which is subject observance, when the law is enforced, the Son law is enforced, and the actual enforcement of the mark to the no buy, no sell decree. Friends, do you understand the distinction between that? there is the mark of the beast, which is Sunday observance in contradistinction to God's 7-day Sabbath. But the system must be what? Enforced through a what? No by no self decree. I know a lot of stuff I'm saying is really punching some of you guys very hard, but don't worry, friends, stick with it. I want you guys to stick with it, and as L.I.G.H.T always says, go back and let it bury and study through. Please, you must do that. Don't just take what I'm saying as it is. But this is true. I know it's true because I've been studying for 10 years. Much of my early writings on this issue was 10 years ago in 2009 in this book, L.I.G.H.T. So much of what I'm writing now, what I mentioned to you now, I wrote it in shadows 10 years ago. And I've lived to see 10 years later that what I wrote then is coming true right now. So I know it's true.
Yeah.
So you can take the book and do it for yourself. Now. Much of what I'm saying now is proving exactly, worked out exactly like that. This was published in 2009, we're in 2019 now, 10 years later. And my embryonic understanding then is proving to be exactly as what we're seeing happening right now.
Glory to God.
So, praise the Lord indeed. So I know what I'm saying is true. Because the Spirit of God proved it to be true through the prophetic message. So I know it's true. So friends, listen now. It's important to recognize the distinction between the mark of the beast of Sunday observance and the actual enforcement of the mark of the beast through the no by no self decree. The passage of a natural son-in-law will be followed by a system of enforcement to distinguish those who have accepted the mark of the beast, or the number of his name, or those versus those who are keep the 7-day Sabbath. So, therefore, when someone decides and act in obedience to the son-in-law, they receive the mark. The enforcement of this mark will involve a system that uses a unique features of each individual, that is, a certain distinguishing feature from everyone else. Friends, you got that? So an enforcement system, they need a system where they can distinguish me from you, from you, from you. So it must be something distinct to me that only I alone have and you don't have it.
Right.
So whenever someone accepts and complies with forced Sunday observance, they will register and activate a regional system of special drawing rights. Through the use of fingerprinting, RFID, retinal scans, or some other similar biometric technology, those who choose to remain faithful to God would not be registered to this regional system of special drawing rights and thus unable to buy or sell. That's the enforcement of the mark of the beast. That's not the mark of the beast. So don't leave here and say L.I.G.H.T says biometrics is a mark of the beast. No. It's going to be the system of what? Enforcement of the mark of the beast.
Right.
Let's go further now, friends. So you might be saying L.I.G.H.T is just talking. I'm going to bring it to our presidential directives, where they have established already for this to be the case. So here it is. The White House NSPD 59, HSPD 24. These are executive orders that was in the books already. The use of biometrics, I believe this was President Bush. The use of biometrics is such a system and has been authorized by a presidential directive, NSPD 59 and HSPD 24. I'm reading the directives to you. This is not, it's in quotation, I'm reading to you. This directive establishes a framework to ensure that federal executive departments and agencies use mutually compatible methods and procedures in the collection, listen, storage, use, analysis, and sharing of biometric and associated biographic and contextual information of individuals in a lawful and appropriate manner while respecting their information privacy and other legal rights under United States law. It's there already.
Yes.
It's there already. It's there already. So, biometric technology, RFID chips, retinal scans, is not the mark of the beast. However, biometrics will be used to enforce the no by no sell decree in a global system of a cashless society. Now, you might be saying, all right, Ella, you have any evidence of that? Well, let us see. Here's a retinal scan. Right? It uses a system of biometrics. The retina is, each person's retina is distinct. So nobody has the same retina. Retina is looking inside the back of the eyes. So everybody, the back of everybody's eye is distinct. Nobody have a two that look exactly the same. So they have very powerful computers now that can capture this and place it in databases. And then, friends, you can go to these. So this is actually in Cairo, in Egypt. Cairo Amman Bank. And this man is going to get some money using what?
His eyes.
Retinal scan.
Right.
So it's there already. It's there already.
Yes, it is.
It's there already. Technology is there already. Next one is the RFID chips. This is like the grain of rice. And they insert this under the skin, and there's X-ray showing it there. And you go to the machine, you scan your hand, and what you get back? You get your money. No. You might be saying, Ella, you're far-fetched. Am I not? I'm not.
No.
Swedish company Epicenter implants microchips into employees.
Yeah.
And that's from 2017.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yes.
What about the Swedish commuters can use futuristic hand implant microchips as train tickets? So in Sweden, you go on the train, what do? A microchip under your skin. Boop, boop.
Yep. Open doors. Do everything.
Open doors, lock doors, get your money and all of that.
Yeah. Open your car.
Friends, we're there.
Yes, we are.
We're there, friends. The stage is set. All we require now is just the son law to pass, and it takes this chain course.
Yes.
Because national policy is followed by national what? Ruin. National ruin what? There's going to be a financial collapse of the United States of America.
Yes.
And then this US empire is going to fall.
Yes.
So what's the summary now? Summary, wrapping up, friends. Last few slides. Summary. The American empire problem is a financial problem. So friends, when you're looking, don't look at eyes like these. Put on your prophetic lens and recognize that the issue that America's weakness underbelly is what? Financial dependence to sustain its world USA empire. To have all these military bases, to have all these different military branches of the Department of Defense, to maintain over 250,000 soldiers, and that's why it's the largest part of the budget each year.
Yes.
And the Chinese and the Russians know that.
Oh, yes.
So to attack US, they're not going to come with bombs and planes, friends. Don't get distracted by that.
No.
They're going to come with what? Trade war and financial wars.
Yes. Going on right now.
And you see it going on right now, it's coming from the east.
Yes.
From the Chinese and from the what? The Russians. Just as how it was when what? The Roman Empire fell.
Yes.
It came from the east and the surrounding areas when the what? The Huns and the barbarians came. And that caused a ripple effect where other nations were displaced and they what? Attacked it what? The Roman Empire. The present financial crisis that we're seeing going on right now going to be a displacement.
Yes.
And this United States of America will have a financial fall. It will have a financial fall. And they have a system so set that they can determine which button they're going to press to bring the system down. Just like how they sacrificed Lehman Brothers by creating a system years before, which you know was not tenable. They knew that that many people were buying these 7, 6, 7 houses.
Of course.
They knew that they could not sustain it because they gave them a variable rate mortgage.
Yes.
So they started at 2.5%, but in 4 or 5 years it reached what? 10, 15%. They knew they were going to fall.
Yes.
So the intention of the system to what? Lehman Brothers to go down
Fail.
to bring up the need for a world currency.
Yes, this is.
So that's how the SDR got its relevance.
It's all scripted.
Scripted, friends. So friends, the collapse of the US empire. So this US empire, this military-based empire, does have a weak underbelly of a financial dependence based on its petrodollar. When the petrodollar goes away, when oil is priced in SDRs, after national son law, this United States of America will have a financial collapse. No doubt about it.
No, no, no.
And then a system going to rise up. A digitalized system. And either you're part of the system or you're not a part of the system. If you're a part of the system, you receive the mark of the beast. Either through coercion or knowingly, you join into the system. You get yourself biometric in the system, so you have access to these special drawing rights, digitalized, through this system we described a while ago, this digitalized system. If you are true Seventh-day Adventist, and you say no, you shall not be a part of the system, so you can't buy or sell. Friends, follow me carefully now. So we learned that the fall of the Roman Empire and its absorption of the 10 kingdoms. So here it is. This was the Roman Empire. When it fell, for the same reasons, attack coming from the east by the Huns and the barbarians, their internal struggle and financial problems, Rome fell. The Roman Empire fell. And what rose up was a system of 10 kingdoms. So my question is this. When this US empire that's military-based falls, after national son law and the financial fall of the US empire, what will be the new world geopolitical structure? So you see, I put this against that. What's the picture I must put here? I ask a question, but I leave the side blank. So after national son law and the financial fall of the USA empire, what will be the new world geopolitical structure? I'm invited to come back this evening to discuss the political beast and the religious war. And then we're going to learn what picture must fix here to show what the world is going to look like when this system of a US militarized dominance world empire falls. So please come back this evening to be a part of the discussion. Let's just pray.